I don't think we have time for the Tea Party story, do we?
We got 5 minutes.
All right, so let's get to a couple of other things. The last week's poll, do you believe reports that Barack Obama made a backroom deal to ensure no public option passes? 57% who responded to our poll believe, yeah, Obama, even though he was saying he wanted the public option, he knew and had made an arrangement behind the scenes to ensure that it did not happen. 32% say no, 11% aren't sure.
But maybe because that was the best he could do.
Well, this is the argument Natan was telling me off air. He was saying even if the backroom deal was made, maybe Obama made it knowing that's the only way he could even get any deal through, and that was better than nothing.
Right.
But, we're getting into what was Obama thinking, and that's not really, who knows? It's not really a road I care to go down.
No.
The new poll, will birther nonsense help or hurt Republicans in the 2012 election if it continues to become a bigger issue? Log on to davidpakman.com and vote. Email me your thoughts. I don't have a set answer yet. I will reveal my thoughts on this when we do poll results next week. Voicemails. We actually have no voicemails to play for you today. 219-2-DAVID-P is the number where you can leave them. We actually did have several. 5 minutes. 5-minute voicemails. We just can't we can't play that on the show, and I'm not comfortable cutting down people's words either,
Mm-hmm. Keep them short.
And emails on the topic of radiation found in milk in the United States. Let's think beyond the milk. How does it get into the milk? Same way it gets into everything, it falls from the air and flows in the water, so radiation is in everything. They are just now finding it in milk, but to get into the milk, it has to be out in the air and water in mass. And I don't know if they mean in Massachusetts or in mass quantity. Gotcha. Yeah, we addressed that. Apparently this gentleman missed that portion of the show. It's amazing. Republicans are out not only to ignore the EPA, but to destroy it. And another email I read from a Japanese news organization, radiated produce is being found in the supermarkets, not just the little ones, but the major retailers. Yeah, this is a big concern. This is absolutely a big concern. And I do not know how it is going to be handled. What we can assume, though, is that if it gets bad enough, there will be a significant campaign to cover up the risks. You know that because major corporate interests are at stake.
Yeah, especially if it starts happening in this country.
On Donald Trump, Trump actually seems like the most qualified Republican for office. I don't know whether this is a dig at other candidates or a real compliment at Trump. I don't know.
Can't tell.
I wouldn't vote for this scumbag if I had a gun pointed at my head. You aren't going to file for bankruptcy if you become president, will you, Donald? And hey, stupid liberals, check out the Newsmax poll. Over 550,000 people responded, and Donald Trump is kicking ass. Okay, Donald Trump is not going to be the Republican nominee. I'm sure of it. I've been wrong about things I've been sure of before, mind you, but I do feel pretty sure about it. You think he has any shot at being the Republican nominee against Barack Obama,
No.
assuming Obama doesn't get primary?
No way.
I just don't see it. I really don't. And on the AT&T T-Mobile merger, I actually work at T-Mobile, and man, it sucks to hear our customers talk and complain about the merger. Nobody wants to be with AT&T. If only they would actually listen to the customers. I think that's anecdotal. It depends where you live, whether one's coverage will be better or worse. Although maybe they're talking about the customer service they're getting. I used to work for Sprint as tech support. The funny thing was that very few people who worked for Sprint actually owned a Sprint phone and service. T-Mobile and Singular were the number one choices. And lastly, right now here in America, it costs around $50 to get 10 megabyte internet access on average from our monopoly corporations. In France, you can get 100 megabit internet access for roughly 50 American dollars. How much worse can it really get? You know, it can always get worse. It can always get more expensive. We see with cable TV providers that they're constantly creeping up the prices. It can always get worse. What can I say?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe if we were to come down to just 2 or 3 major providers, I mean, when you're in a price war there, prices would have to start going down.
No, because they collude to keep prices high.
That could be too. You never know.
On today's bonus show, is Libya hiring mercenaries? Can alcohol help memory? And a toddler was served alcohol. If you're not getting the bonus show, davidpakman.com/membership. Make sure you're on that bonus show. Lewis produces it, by the way. New show in a couple of days.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.